Now, in the past, if you were a successful businessman and you wanted a large four-door saloon car, you had a choice of Mercedes-Benz, BMW, or Audi. Now, though, you could have an Aston Martin or a Maserati or a Porsche. And that should at least make the world's financial districts sound a lot better. These are the cars in question, and it's our job to decide which is best. The 4.7-litre Maserati Quattroporte GTS, the 6-litre Aston Martin Rapide, or the extremely ugly Porsche Panamera Turbo. This isn't just hideous compared to the other two, it's hideous compared to a genital wart.
By contrast, looks is where the Aston gets off to a flying start, because it doesn't really look like a saloon at all. More like a DB9 that's taken a bit of Viagra. In fact, you have to stare at it for a while before you can even see that it's got 4 doors at all.
The Quattroporte has now been with us for 6 years, but if anything, over that time, I think it's got even better looking.
Oh, it has.
You're not joking.
Look at it.
I remember when this first came out, I thought it looked like a Vauxhall Cresta.
Yes, you did.
But now it's just spectacularly well balanced.
It's just cool though as well, isn't it?
Because when you see someone getting out of these, the passers-by who because it's like a mafia hitman.
I like these.
Oh, those are spectacular.
They work for me.
When you sum up the looks of these, you've got the ballet dancer, the hitman, and someone who's been
Found at the bottom of a lake after 2 weeks.
Yes, and this is the man who threw him there.
Having examined the outside of the cars, we thought we'd take a look at the insides, where there were some issues. In the Aston Martin, you need fingers like cocktail sticks to operate any of the buttons. And in the Porsche, you need to be a rocket scientist to understand anything. But worst of all is the Quattroporte. This is always going to be a bit of a problem for a small car maker because, well, Mercedes-Benz, they've probably got 1,000 people employed just to decide where the buttons go on the sat-nav. But with Maserati, you sort of get the feeling that a man turns up on Tuesday and goes, here it is okay. And that's why it's blindingly difficult to operate everything in here. As we shall now demonstrate. Chaps, give me a straightforward
I'll give you a task, okay? Adjust the clock.
Okay.
While James is doing that, Hammond and I have noticed that we've got these straps here. Now, these are fitted for you to be handcuffed to when you own
put a clip around
the
there.
owner of the car.
Don't take it to the warehouse, I can't find the money.
Okay, please,
Just tell me where my children are.
Set time and date. Go on then.
Right. Manual, semi-automatic. Oh, these are the weapons. I'm quite good at this sort of thing, but that's rubbish.
At this point, we decided to take a typical businessman's drive from here in central London to a business park in Hampshire.
But I wanted to drive the Maserati. Well, I'm not driving the Porsche. I'm just not.
Unfortunately, while I was telling Jeremy I wouldn't drive the Porsche, James drove off in the Aston.
Oh, God. Why did I have to get stuck with this?
I grabbed the Aston, expecting perfection, but I didn't quite find it. You pay 91,000 for the Maserati, 97,000 for the Porsche, and then 140,000 for this. And I'm not exactly sure why. For that sort of money, this thing has to be, well, absolutely brilliant. And I'm not entirely convinced it is. It's a bit jiggly. I know it's a sort of supercar, but it's supposed to be luxurious and comfortable as well. When it comes to criticism, though, you should have heard Mr. Grumbletrousers.
It's sort of massive for one thing. I'm scared I might knock over a building. Oh, God. It's got a stop-start. So the engine stops when you stop and then starts when you hit the pedal to move away. What's to save petrol? In a 4.7-litre V8 turbo, that's like buying Buckingham Palace and then living in the kitchen to save wearing the carpets out. Then there's the pricing. Yes, at £97,000, this does look like good value against the Aston Martin. But then you discover you have to pay extra for things like the rear windscreen wiper. Don't be tight. 97 grand, chuck in a windscreen wiper, eh?
Hammond,
Yep.
I don't like looking at your car.
It's the only thing that brightens my day, knowing that you've got to look at it and I haven't. I'm stuck in... No, there's his reflection. Oh, God, it's hideous.
Up ahead, there was a chance for the Porsche to redeem itself.
Oh, hello, tunnel. Oh. Sport. There it is, Sport. Ah, no noise at all. I've got a 4.7 litre V8 and I can't hear anything.
The Aston put on a better show.
Not bad.
But then came the Maserati.
What I'm going to do now is push the sport button. Oh my God! What this button does is it turns carbon dioxide into noise. However, like the other two, I had complaints. The sport's noise, that's good. The trouble is they've also fitted it with sports suspension and that's not good. If you can afford £100,000 to spend on a car, chances are you're a bit old, and old people don't want to drive along like this. That's not comfy. And there was more. I honestly thought James was being stupid, but he isn't. I can't fathom anything out. There are buttons I've just found on the back of the steering wheel. 6 of them. No idea what they do. On the uneventful 1-hour cruise to the business park. Do I care that I don't know what the buttons do? No. I worked out a way to describe the unhinged but bewitching Quattroporte. Owning this car is like owning a 2-year-old child. It's really annoying for a loss of the time, but if someone tried to take it away from you...
You'd kill them.
You'd kill them. Then, since the park was closed, we decided to turn it into a racetrack. And in the Maserati, Hammond quickly got what I was on about.
Oh, my word! I mean, this is a 4-door saloon car, but it sounds utterly magnificent. It's just got so much style. I don't care what the flaws are. I don't care if it picks its nose and farts in bed. I love this thing. It's just got such a sense of fun about it. That's the whole point of this, isn't it? Even if you're trying to keep that lid down.
Mind you, the Aston wasn't bad either. Do you know what this is? I'll tell you exactly what this is. It is exciting. There's a subtle, refined rage to this car. It's not as sharp as a Vantage or a DB9 or a DBS, but as a 4-door saloon car, it's spectacular.
Here on the Business Park Raceway, even the 4-wheel drive Elephant Man was making a case for itself.
God above, this thing's quick. It feels big, but woo! Staggering. I'm just amazed by this car. Dynamically, it is as fabulous as it is gopping to look at.
Frankly, we could have fooled about all day in these cars, but we decided to introduce a bit of science by laying out a course and then summoning the head of accounts.
Right, is he ready?
Yes, I believe so. Of course he is. It's the Stig.
3,
Yeah.
2, 1, go! They sold 1,000.
What are you going to say?
Well, I was going to say that they sold 1,000 of those Maseratis over a 5-year period, but over the same 5 years, they sold nearly 15,000 Mercedes S-Classes.
He's coming back.
You know the Ferrari F438? What? It got a bit squirrely there.
Oh, I've had a crisis.
35.8.
With the Maserati's time on the board, the Stig lined up the Aston.
3, 2, 1, and go!
I'm very angry. But why is it so expensive? I think they're charging 140,000 because they can.
Yeah.
Oh!
He is brave, isn't he brave?
Okay, the Aston Martin Rapide.
Go on then.
There's your Maserati 3581.
Yeah.
Rapide 3525. So 50 grand and you go 0.6 of a second faster around Farnborough Business Park. It's an important piece of consumer advice.
Spend an extra 50 grand for that.
Right, it's time now for the Porsche.
3, 2, 1, go!
Has it gone?
You two haven't given it the full beans yet, have you?
No.
No.
It's absolutely astonishing.
I have to say, I like the look of it now.
You can't sit.
No, it's behind that building. It's back!
I've got to look.
Right. Earlier on, we tested the new Aston Martin Rapide, which we liked despite the price, the Porsche Panamera, which we liked despite the hideous body, and the Maserati Quattroporte, which we liked despite pretty much everything really. Now, though, it is time to see how good these are as four-door saloons. To do that, the producers had said we must spend the day as chauffeurs.
Guys, I know all about chauffeuring.
Go on.
You've got to wear a hat, and you have to remember when you open the back door for a girl to get in, not to look up her skirt.
On the way, we changed into our suits, and then we arrived at a hotel to meet the people we'd be chauffeuring.
Okay. Where's your suit trousers?
I've lost them.
Lost them.
And honestly, I've searched the house up top to bottom.
So we're going to have, what do you reckon, one person each? Or...
I think it's probably a conference.
No, we'll go to different places and it'll be who gets to his place first.
Chauffeur race.
Exactly. It'll be different places. It's who gets there first. What?
It's a wedding.
What's a wedding?
It's a wedding. We're doing a wedding with a car service for a wedding.
Mate, you can't do a wedding in jeans.
You can't actually. That's
too much.
That's
You
going
really
too
can
far.
I can mend this.
Is this a real wedding?
Yes, it's a real wedding.
Well, an actual wedding. It's not
An
like
actual wedding, and we have to, to the church, to the reception. We are the drivers for the day to see how big the backs of these cars are. And I've got to mend my trousers.
So hang on, who is there at a wedding? There's a bride, there's a
Bride,
groom,
groom, vicar.
the bride's mother,
Yeah.
parents, they all have to go. Well,
Maserati's the biggest.
What are
Bride
you
should go in
proposing?
Maserati. The bride's the most important person at a wedding.
yes.
So put the bride in the
Put the bride in the Maserati, and I should drive the bride because I haven't driven the Maserati
You're
yet.
welcome to
'cause
that
You're welcome.
responsibility, mate. I'm not driving a bride to a wedding, no way.
Listen, everything we ever do is a disaster.
Well, including what you're
It
doing
is a
now.
real wedding. It'll be black in a minute, trust me. So, bride in the Maserati,
Yeah.
you drive that.
Yep.
Groom is going to want to go in the Aston.
Okay, I'll take him in the Aston.
I'll do the bride's mother in the Porsche.
I wouldn't. Oh, no,
You
wait.
sure?
Oh, I see.
Well, it needs. She'll be emotional, and I'm just what she needs on her daughter's wedding day. Hammond set off to get the groom, leaving me in a spot of bother with my new trousers. Oh no. My legs have stuck together. I do apologise for this. Worse still, chauffeur duties had made James even more pedantic than usual.
Because I want my Maserati here for the bride. I think it's
Yes,
more
you go and
correct.
get your Maserati.
Can you move out of the way then?
Yep.
But hang on, I can't do this until you've gone, otherwise it's in the way.
What?
I can't put the Maserati there before you've gone, otherwise they have to walk round it. That's not right.
So what are you talking about?
I can't put the Maserati in position until you've left with the bride's mother.
Why?
Because otherwise she'll come out and get in the Maserati, and then...
Well, she won't, because we'll say don't get in the Maserati.
So then she has to walk round it, and it's not right. Trust me.
Meanwhile, I'd arrived at the groom's house.
This is it.
But having never chauffeured before, I didn't know whether to get him or wait in the car.
He wants to get ready, take his time. I'll hover here.
You've got half an hour to get there. You've got to be...
I've got to be late, yes.
Yes, but a tiny bit
Yes.
late. Not your usual late.
No, I know,
Tiny
I
bit
understand the difference.
Whilst James was still deciding where to put his car, the wedding party emerged.
I was going to back it up and do it properly. Do you want to go in and come out again while I back it up?
James, will you concentrate on your job?
This way, please.
Don't look at her skirt. Don't look at her skirt.
No. I'm in. Thank you for averting your gaze.
Come on.
Where is he? Oh, you're already in? I'm in. Sorry. He's already in. Good afternoon, everyone.
Oh, good afternoon.
I'm James. I shall be your driver.
Hello,
This is the Maserati Quattroporte, not the original model, which had a slightly ropey gearbox. This is the GTS, much improved, as you shall see. Key stuck.
Jeremy, meanwhile, was being his usual charming self.
If I've got whiffy pits, I apologise, but it is from wearing slightly hot trousers.
Come on, we're late. We're late. That's the groom. That's the groom. He is the groom. You're Steve. Yeah. Hi, Steve. Sorry, mate. Sorry. Yeah. And you're Sam, best man. Hi. Nice to see you.
Are we not going right to the church?
As we're a little bit early, and obviously you don't want to arrive early, I thought we'd take a slightly longer route, slightly scenic, so that you can arrive at an appropriate time and also enjoy the car a little bit on the journey.
Unfortunately, the bride's father had never seen Top Gear.
Yeah, that sounds really good, yeah.
Still, at least James was driving sensibly.
Sport plus. I will get you to the church on time. As it turned out, my passengers loved fast driving.
So, marriage. Whew. It's a big one.
It's the big day.
Think what you're taking on, man.
It's
Our life changes today.
today,
Yeah.
for real.
It's amazing, isn't it, marriage? Because you have like the big day, the big celebration, everybody's there, it's all exciting, and then one day it just settles down into the norm. Day to day. Just every day, after day, after day.
But you'll never get it to sound quite like this because it's to do with the crank angle and the number of cylinders.
I never thought I'd be learning about crank angles on the way to my wedding.
Sorry, I think I've taken the wrong exit off that roundabout. Hang on a minute.
You're just kind of checking out the road holding, or?
No, this isn't a test. I'm just, because I've done this loop, I'm not absolutely sure. No, it must be the next one.
You're not getting nervous now, are you?
I am now, but I was feeling pretty relaxed, but I'm now.
I'll help you with some music. There you go, look, I can... hang on, oh, look, it's not as easy as I'd hoped.
We really have to get a move on.
Yeah, but I just want to find out if can I drive the iPod from the stereo? Oh, this is the most complicated thing I've ever tried to do. Oh, no, that's just impossible. Hang on, I think I've got it.
So don't forget it. It's just a silly phase.
Here we go!
In the back, Jensen and Lewis wanted even more from the Porsche.
Can't we go somewhere we can go really fast?
Yeah.
I have to
Up to
say-
the airfield.
Oh, is there an airfield near?
Yeah. Pull in there, do a circuit, and then we don't mind being late.
Is she a calm bride?
She's been so calm.
Because James May can drive somebody to the edge of reason after 3 minutes.
I'll turn around in the garden centre. Sorry about that.
As the clock struck 1, I pulled up at the church.
I almost lost my dress then.
We made it. You out? Oh, look. The bride's mother and chief bridesmaid seemed very happy with my chauffeuring skills. However, in Claire Rayner's car...
I mean, it's like your life. It's for life.
It is for life.
Just stretching out in front of you. Forever. Just going on. Then on.
Amazingly, though, when Captain Cheerful eventually arrived, the groom was more bothered about my trousers.
What are you wearing?
I'm fine. There's a duck here. There's nothing to see here. More worryingly, there was nothing to see in terms of the bride either. The relations are starting to get angsty. I can just feel eyes burrowing into the back of my head.
I did look at the map before I started off. Right, nearly there. What hymns have you chosen?
The King of Love, my shepherd is.
Very good. There's the...
Half one. Half an hour late now for the wedding.
Look, there it is.
Hmm?
The church was that way.
Are you sure it was that way?
Yes.
Yeah.
Completely 100% sure.
We're now into something 2 o'clock. We're now nearer 2 o'clock.
We're nearer the next hour than the hour in which they were supposed to be getting married.
This would have been your last car journey before you became a married woman. I hope it was a good one.
That man, he is the most colossal...
Where have they been?
We took a slightly scenic route.
The wedding party hurried into the church. Explain yourself.
What?
How come you've arrived 35 minutes late?
It's fashionable for the bride.
Yeah, you've obviously made an impression because
7
they've all
minutes.
just...
I like the way, yeah,
leaving.
they're really happy to have had you drive. I mean, look at their cheery faces as they walk off, dabbing their eyes.
Anyway.
Did they like the Maserati?
Loved it.
Did they?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Did you love it?
I love it. Top 5 cars.
What do we do now?
No, we wait for them. Actually, no, I tell you what. The bride's mother told me on the way over there's an airfield near here.
So?
Well, is this a Catholic wedding or...
Go on.
Well, go on, they'll be doing Dear Lord and Father of... Go on, go
Drag
play on
race?
an airfield. Bagsy, go in this.
I'll add drag race.
Drag race. So, as the congregation began its first hymn, we headed off to the airfield and set up for our drag race.
I'm sure most wedding car drivers do this.
I wonder if they've done the exhortations yet.
Go! Yes!
Look at this go!
80, level pegging with the Aston. Oh, no, I'm not.
Maserati's sitting in my door mirror here like an oil painting.
Come on, come on!
Even with James at the wheel, that Porsche easily won. Since the race was over so quickly, I decided there was time for another game. I bet I can do a longer power slide in that than you two can in these. Good game?
That's a very
God, it's a beautiful day.
Yeah, yeah.
We've got crash helmets on. The back's coming out nicely, and now pin it there.
Too much grip.
Our new game was excellent fun. That's a good one. What do you think of that, Hammond?
And another championship-winning entry from Hammond in the Maserati. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Feeling sick, but looking good. I know a lot of you will have been looking at that and thinking it was all a setup, they were actors. Well, it really wasn't. They really were a couple. They really did get married that day, and they really are here. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve and Ellie! Congratulations.
Sorry, really sorry. Sorry you weren't there when you came out. That was bad. Yeah. Sorry about my mood on the day. It was inappropriate, as it turned out. We're sorry.
By way of an apology and as a token of our appreciation, we brought you this memento so you can remember the day every time you have a dump.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Well done.
Congratulations.
Excellent, excellent.
We worked together to buy that, just so you all know.
Ourselves.
Your eternal happiness. Anyway, it is now time for us to decide which of these cars is best.
Quite easy for me. The Maserati is idiotic, okay? After 5 minutes, it would drive you mad, and after 5 weeks, it would fall to pieces. But for me, by a country mile, it's the one I'd have.
Me too.
Yeah, and me by a long, long way.
Yeah, so there we are. We all agree on something. The worst car is the best. And on both those bombshells, it's now time to end. Thank you so much for watching. Not that you were, of course, because you were watching the football, but there we are. See you next week, though. Take care. Good night.